Taiwan says it won't yield to pressure. Significant drop in MIS-C risk under Omicron. Zelensky urges for measures to prevent violence. IMO rejects funding IMRF in decarbonization. NASA to study on unidentified aerial phenomenon. US dropped COVID testing requirements for international travelers. Free online viewing of Strawberry Super Full Moon. Hong Kong becomes a hot place for Russian oligarchs.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It's June 13th, Monday, and here are your top stories. Under the title of the President of the Republic of China, President Tsai Ing-wen said on June 10th that Taiwan, like Ukraine, is determined to defend itself and confident this resolve will rally fellow democracies to our cause. In the address for the Copenhagen Democracy Summit 2022 via video, titled Taiwan, an integral partner of the Global Democratic Alliance, President Tsai Ing-wen vows not to bend to pressure from authoritarianism.
In the past year, we observed increasing support and partnerships between Taiwan and the member states of the European Union. These partnerships have continued to flourish because they are built on our shared values of democracy and freedom.
In her remarks, President Tsai said that we in Taiwan are eager to share our experience in countering authoritarian influence and are ready to strengthen our collaboration with like-minded countries to safeguard the liberal democratic world order and maintain regional peace and security. Tsai noted that Russia's invasion of Ukraine has showed once again that these regimes will stop at nothing in the pursuit of their expansionist goals. The Copenhagen Democracy Summit introduced President Tsai on its exclusive web pages.
A new study published on June 8th in the American Medical Association Medical Journal JAMA Network from researchers of Aarhus University Hospital, Denmark, suggests that Omicron causes far fewer cases of multi-system inflammatory syndrome, also known as MIS-C, in children after contracting COVID-19. Amid fears of rising in Taiwan, where diagnosed cases with MIS-C reaches a total of 8 on June 11th. The Danish research reinforces evidence of vaccination offering significant protection against the MIS-C.
These kids have serious systemic symptoms requiring hospitalization. They usually present with rash and fever about 2 to 4 weeks after an acute COVID infection.
The data emerging from Denmark suggests the condition is likely to affect fewer than 1 in 10,000 children in the Omicron wave, even at the higher end of the estimate for unvaccinated patients. The research ran from 1st of January to 15th March this year. Among 583,618 children and adolescents infected with COVID-19, the researchers identified 12 cases of MIS-C. That's one from a cohort of 267,086 vaccinated individuals, and 11 among the remaining unvaccinated patients.
On June 11th, at the 19th Asia Shangri-La Dialogue Security Summit, when answering a question about what can be done to counter China's campaign of economic and military coercion against Taiwan, the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, said, "The world must always support proactive measures to prevent violence." He said, "I think that today's example of Ukraine is an example for the whole world. The world must always support any action related to preemptive measures so that there is no war."
Пам'ятайте, що це підтримка і увага не тільки для України, а й для вас самих, для того.
Zelensky noted, the world should decide everything diplomatically. Support states that need it. Do not leave this or that state alone with another state, which may be stronger financially, territorially, in terms of weapons. If problems can be solved by diplomacy, they must be solved. The war does not benefit anyone except the ambitious of some people. According to senior policy analyst in the Asian Study Center, Olivia Enos, the Chinese delegation left the hall during Zelensky's speech.
Governments at the meeting of the IMO's Marine Environment Protection Committee have rejected plans for a shipping industry-backed program to accelerate research and development of alternative fuels that will help catalyze the industry's decarbonization effort. The Secretary General of the International Chamber of Shipping, ICS, Guy Platten, said despite the lack of government leadership at the IMO, the shipping industry remains committed to finding ways of achieving net zero carbon emissions by 2050.
as we move towards a zero-carbon future and all the challenges that's going to pose for the industry in coping with it. But I have no doubt the industry will rise to the challenge, seize the opportunity.
ICS Guy Patton said, "Funding for R&D will be top of the agenda at the Shaping the Future of Shipping Summit, to be hosted by ICS in London on June 21st. We will bring together leading CEOs from across our global industry to find ways to practically decarbonize shipping." ICS represents 80% of the world's merchant fleet. Funding for the program was planned to come through an International Maritime Research Fund, IMRF, financed through a $2 per ton tax on fuel consumption by every ship over a period of 10 years.
NASA announced on June 5th that it is commissioning a study team to start early in the fall to examine unidentified aerial phenomena, also known as UAP, that is, observations of events in the sky, such as UFOs that cannot be identified as aircraft or known natural phenomena. The study will focus on identifying available data, how best to collect future data, and how NASA can use the data to move the scientific understanding of UAPs forward. The study is expected to take about 9 months to complete.
The Associated Administrator for Science at NASA headquarters in Washington, Thomas Zerbucher, said, "We have access to a broad range of observations of Earth from space. Now we have the tools and team who can help us improve our understanding of the unknown." NASA said in a statement, "There is no evidence UAPs are extraterrestrial in origin. The limited numbers of observation of UAPs currently makes it difficult to draw scientific conclusion about the nature of such events."
As of 12:01 a.m. East Time on June 12, 2022, U.S. CDC will no longer require air passengers traveling from a foreign country to the United States to show a negative COVID-19 viral test or documentation of viral recovery from COVID-19 before they board their flight. The U.S. CDC said it will reassess the decision in 90 days, and officials said if there is a need to reinstate a pre-departure testing requirement, including due to a new concerning variant, CDC will not hesitate to act.
The agency said it continues to recommend that individuals test before and after travel, and after any known exposure to a person with COVID-19. Travelers who are not U.S. citizens, U.S. nationals, lawful permanent residents, or traveling to the United States on an immigrant visa must still show proof of vaccination before boarding their flight. Media said the end of the testing requirements could spur more interest in the international destinations, particularly amongst travelers reluctant to fly for fear of being stranded if they test positive.
The full moon of June 14th will be full strawberry moon and a supermoon to boot. But if bad weather clouds your view, don't fret. You will be able to see the full strawberry moon in a live webcast for free. The Virtual Telescope project in Cassano, Italy, will host a free live stream of the full moon on Tuesday, June 14th. The webcast, which will begin at 3:15 p.m. EDT, that is 19:15 GMT, will show live views of the second supermoon of 2022 as it rises over Rome. You can watch the live stream in the video feed on YouTube.
The Virtual Telescope project indicates that June's full strawberry supermoon will occur on Tuesday, June 14th at 7:51 a.m. EDT, Eastern Daylight Time. That is 11:51 GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. But the moon will appear full to observers in the day before and after the actual event. So feel free to watch the moonshine from June 13th to 15th. It gets its strawberry name from the short strawberry harvesting season it coincides with. The full moon of June will be the lowest full moon of 2022.
After London sanctioned the Russian oligarchs, Hong Kong has become the next hotspot for Russian wealth. For one thing, neither China nor the Hong Kong government is willing to help foreign countries punish those responsible for the war in Ukraine, as they have been reported to do so in the past, by turning a blind eye to approved North Korea agencies operating in Hong Kong. There is no other reason, says David Asher, a sanctions expert and former U.S. State Department official. Hong Kong's Clearinghouse Automated Transfer System, or CHATS.
Asher said, CHATS was founded in 2000. The part government-owned chats processes billions of US dollars without transactions touching the US banking system. During extradition proceedings in Vancouver against Huawei's executive, Ming Wanzhong, who was accused of violating US sanctions against Iran. Two experts testified that the transactions were processed via chats. Some Russian oligarchs have already seen the benefits of working in Hong Kong.
And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. Let's make every day a fun day. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.